No, it's. Alright, thank you.
Yeah, when you turn the AC on, it's off. Nah, yeah, it's cool, but I think it's off, innit? Yeah, nah, yeah, fam. The breeze was not breezing. Wasn't breathing like it's breezy. Blowing there. Pause. And the machine, man. Guys, see how Ben's coming. He just came from a mission. Came from
I'm always on the move, man.
PT.
Nah, I didn't come from PT today, man. Oh, but
I swear.
Yeah.
What you been up to?
I'm always on a mission.
On a mission.
Yeah, same as usual, man. It's life, man.
Life.
Doing the usual.
Usual. But yeah, fam, I was even vexed, like,
Why?
end of an era, bro.
With what?
I lost my first pair of AirPods, like, gone.
Oh, I've never lost a pair of AirPods. Mine the Vite, one of them stopped working. I think the Vite one stopped working.
Yeah, mine as well. But like, since like, when I get it.
Yeah, there. That's a bit closer. Bit closer. Yeah, there. Yeah, it's calm.
Since like 2019, bro. First gen.
Yeah, I got my AirPods. When did I get? I think it was 2019 or 2020.
1920, yeah,
19.
But like, they're not lost. They're at home, innit?
No, my bad. Mine was 2020.
Yeah, 2020.
Yeah,
Mine
2020.
was late 1920s. So let's say 20.
Actually, no, tell that. No, it's 2019. It was 2019 because I remember I was in sixth form. I had them because 2020 I would have been in uni. Yeah, it was 2019. Like,
so that means
March.
mine were 20.
Mine was about March 2020.
Mine was 2020. Mine was 2020 because I got my first year in
Uni.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
2020. First gen, bro. Like, I was the one out saying I never, like,
Same.
understood how people lose, like, 4 or 5. Like, bro. But it's at home somewhere in it, but you're like, find my AirPod from it's so useless because if you're not connected to it.
Yeah, because no one thinks about that until they've actually lost it. Then
They're
they're like,
gonna be. Oh. But yeah, I'm just like, bro, I'm just gonna buy the pros. It's gonna get over and done with, bro.
Even when my first one stopped working, I bought the same ones, all the second gens.
Second gens. But apparently, people were telling me to just buy the second gen, not third gens, because the pros they don't fit well, something like that.
For me, it's just as long as it's loud. Like the ones I've got are still working fine. And mine only stopped working beginning of this year.
Yeah, so mine only started going quieter
mine
this year.
Mine was still loud. It's just one of them literally just stopped working.
Stopped working.
Just like that. So then it's basically managed 3 years.
3 years.
So to me, it's like, and then I went and bought the second gen. So it's basically more. It looks exactly the same. I don't know what's different.
More powerful, probably.
Yeah, that's it.
More powerful.
And that's what I got now. So yeah. I'm not really in the consumerism.
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy, but for me, because I know I love music. Yeah, you know I love music. So yeah, I want like proper.
I can't like. I want the music whereby I can't hear nothing.
Yeah, and I think the pros got noise cancelling, so I'm like cool. But at the same time, it's like
I think in the long run that's gonna mash everyone up. You know.
That's what I'm saying.
There's so many.
And they say it don't fit the ears properly as well, like because
it has the round thing.
Yeah. That thing's jarring.
I think when you think about it, yeah, a lot of the stuff that we love today, it sounds. I always think that in the next, when we're like elderly, when our generation is like I'll say in the next 30, 40 years, we're going to start seeing the effects of all these things that we're enjoying.
Audio is peak, yeah.
Audio, where music on full blast, people are going to... Yeah. You know what I mean? Elderly people I see that are wearing hearing aids.
It's true,
or they can't hear.
Like, even me that blasts my speaker when I'm playing music or something, I'm just like... Right now, I'm not going to feel this, but later on.
Radiation. I feel like radiation is going to be one of the biggest.
It's underrated still.
Bro, I think that is so, because obviously technology is advancing, but it's like, you got to think about all this technology that's mad advanced.
Yeah.
The amount of radiation that's being produced to make it, and then that's being produced by us using the technology. I think it's going to mash us up. Even like, I mentioned it before, rape as well. All these little gadgets. Like, they say we're saving the environment, but I think in the long term, everyone's like just fucked. Like, it's gonna. That's why there's so many the amount of younger people that are getting all these diseases that was only prone to people that were older. Now it's like younger people getting cancer. Cancer's like radiation. Even in our foods, all these chemicals and everything. Did you see? Even my boys, they'll because I used to be one of them guys that sugar free, yeah. That shit used to get me, yeah. Because when I was like, some people know, innit? Like I was mad chubby, so when I lost weight now, I was very conscious of what I was eating, drinking. Healthy diet, yeah. So consumerism, again, when you see sugar free, you think, boom, that's healthy, right? In one of the drinks now, they're saying that one of the sugar free, one of the sugar free fizzy drinks, yeah, one of the chemicals is actually cancerous. It's cancerous. So it causes cancer. So it's like all these things long term, because they've already started this sugar free marketing. All these things on these food products now. Long term,
in Coke Zero like worse than a normal Coke. Like I saw something like that on TikTok or something.
Yeah. So now it's like, I don't even want the sugar free drinks, like, and that's like even like little stuff, like even like protein powder. Like I kind of stopped. I haven't had protein powder for like a good, like it's probably since the beginning of this year, just because stuff like, for example, being just bloated and because there's bare chemicals and all this stuff. And now I'm going straight back to the.
I'm starting the gym thing, you know. Can I tell you why? No, big man thing. My belly's peak, bro. The office job is finishing. Like
sitting down.
Bro, it wasn't until like I tried to put on one of my garms. Yeah, I was getting out, and it was like skin tight. And I don't want to say the size. I'm gonna embarrass myself. But it's mad because my chest is all calm. Like you can see it here. But when it gets here, bro.
I always tell people that I've seen one of my brothers. He's like, he used to be mad slim.
Yeah.
Now obviously he's a lot bigger, like and like he like tends to sit at a desk and be editing, and then it's almost like I would have never like
envisioned him.
Yeah, because he's always I always felt like he had my dad's genetics.
Yeah.
So my dad, when I look at a picture of him when he was younger, he was mad slim. I seemed like I had took my mum's body, whereby I was a lot chunkier. So then now it's like I'm the way I am, and then he's like how he is. But his was thing whereby he's obviously your metabolism sits down.
It slows down.
So yeah, your metabolism slows down because you're sitting down.
Yeah.
Office job. He's at his computer editing, doing whatever he's doing, because like he's a videographer, media. He's into like media stuff.
Yeah.
So then now it's like, you think that cool when I'm 18. When you're 18, cool, you're active, you've been in school, you're doing PE, you're playing sports, you're doing basketball in your case. For example, now that cool, you're working now, like the majority of your life is work, and if your work is you sitting down, then now your metabolism is gonna slow down. You're still eating the way you were eating before, whereas your lifestyle's changed, so your eating hasn't changed. Your eating habits are probably might have been even worse now because you're just sitting now, you're just snacking bears, the food's just there. You know when we're at work, like someone puts in a pack of biscuits, everyone's feasting chocolates.
Man's even gonna touch on that because there was something I was saying to one of my gym bros today. He's an elder, but I was chatting to him. I was like, bro, I need a belly plan. He said, bro, that's all diet. He said, trust me, your belly.
Yeah, man.
But because I was like, I'm eating the same way I'm eating. It's not like I'm eating more. He was like, but that's it. Like, but you're eating the same. But are you working out the same? Like, you're forgetting you used to be a high level basketball athlete. But now those calories are going nowhere because you're sitting down.
You're just sitting
down. Because I look at my Apple Watch thinking, if I hit 1,000 calories, yeah, I'm good. But it doesn't actually count the calories I'm intaking as well.
Exactly.
So I'm not even.
You don't realize that, for example, you said you can finish a whole pack of custard creams.
Yeah.
Do you know how much?
I don't even watch all of that, bro. But now I probably start having to because like I'm seeing it.
But now it's like, for example, now that I've started, like for example, I started going gym May 2017. Yeah.
Yeah.
Always remember. Yeah. Since then I've been non-stop. Yeah. In my I'll be so real. Like I used to count calories, but to me, it's like I feel like I'm not now. I don't do it because I was doing it for like quite maybe like a good year.
Your body.
Now it's like I kind of understand.
You have an idea.
I have an idea, and I'm someone that like I'm bare like into like researching and reading art. I'm not into reading books, but I read articles and shit. Like even now in the profession I'm in as a physio, like it's always good to have evidence-based practice.
So let's talk about that from you, yeah. Because I feel like, you know, a lot of people don't want to talk about it. But for me, in health-wise, I always see, because, you know, it's a supply and demand type of consumerism world we live in, yeah. A lot of people will sell you fake stuff, even though they know it's wrong, just under the guise of fitness. Because like they said, most of the normal people day-to-day won't do the research on it.
Yeah.
So for me...
Because obviously everyone's just looking for something that's quick.
For example, 100.
Like, for example, you know when I see fitness PTs or say, they got a 30-day plan that's going to help you get a six-pack. Yeah, that stuff. Basically, it's like a pyramid scheme. Like, to me, it's like it's crazy, but the average Joe he's not really gonna research, not really gonna do their due diligence to actually research. Is gonna believe that because in their head they're thinking, I just want that body, man.
Same, but I'll be real. I was at a point where I thought my belly, like even recently, would go down if I just did the ab workout. Not knowing that the ab workout.
Ab workout, you could be. Yeah. If you were eating the same way you're eating, you're doing ab workouts. You're wasting your time.
Wasting my time. Yeah, someone told me ab workouts is when you're already like skinny. It's like a toner. It's like you're toning your muscles. Where
people don't realize that ab workouts are good and all, but a lot of the exercises you in the gym, you engage your core.
Your core anyway.
So it's strengthening your core, but it's more so like abs is more so it's more to do with like body fat.
Body fat.
When you reduce your body fat, then of course your abs are going to be showing, and then if you do like ab workouts, then it's just gonna sculpt it, as you said, tone it more. So then it's gonna be like the shape of it and the definition of it maybe a bit more, but it's also the body fat.
So bro, how many years as a qualified PT? Yeah, cool. Let's say like
physio.
So different quite physios.
No, because.
What's the difference here? Tell me, man, don't even know the difference.
So I had this conversation like a few days ago with one of my manager who's a senior physio, right? And he was like to me that a great PT can be a great physio and vice versa. Obviously, with a physio, you have to have a degree. PT, you have to do the course, but I do feel like, for example, like PTs, if you got a great knowledge of like the body and the anatomy, so where the muscles are, where the bones are, and what exercises, what exercise you're gonna prescribe someone, how you're gonna do a workout, that can be great. But it limits you in terms of physio wise, because physio there's so many aspects. Like for example, you have the respiratory aspect, the neuro aspect, and then the MSK aspect, which is more so where I think the PTs will.
What's MSK?
MSK obviously is MSK is musculoskeletal, so that's to do the muscles, bones. So just the general. That's the first thing that people think about when they think about physios. But yeah, so what was your question?
Yeah, so my question was gonna be, so I'll say it for me right now, as a once very active person who's in the office right now, and I want to lose belly fat. Yeah,
I'll say, do you know what? Do you know how I say? You know, like when I'm talking to people, because I might have someone might ask me the odd question like that. Yeah, that I'm seeing. Yeah, I might just be like, for an everyday person, I wouldn't really include you as you sort of are, but you are active in a way. You don't because you're still young. You do sports. Like for example, I always told them like just start with just walking, because walking, I feel like they don't realize how underrated it is as a way
of. When you say walking, is it walking leisurely or are you like
going for walks, speed? As in to keep like steps, as in doing steps. I don't know, like start with I don't know, however, depending on, if you're not very active, I'll say start with 5,000 steps. Slowly progress that whether to 6,000, 7,000. Obviously, based on how your body is able to adapt, because everyone's different. Everyone progresses differently. Like it might take you, I don't know, 2 weeks for something. It might take someone else 4 weeks to actually get to that stage. So I always say start off at this level, see how you are, and then as that get easier, then slowly progress the exercise. That's how I kind of think of it. If so, someone like you, I'll be like, yeah, start going gym. I don't know, start with cardio. 20 minutes. Then just keep it simple. Like I always say, start with the basics. So press ups, push ups.
Okay.
Like,
can they be done at home as well though? So like someone told me like, bro, if you just do, especially for you, what you want to do, if you just do, let's say 100 push ups, 100 sit-ups a day, for like days, you see a good difference. Is that true or is that something where it's like, you just give me outlandish numbers?
Yeah, you'll see, because it's like, it's a form of weight training in a way, because it was strength training, but if you're just using your body weight, I feel like body weight, like obviously you have people that are into what they call calisthenics.
Calisthenics, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Whereby you're using your body weight, pull-ups, press-ups, sit-ups.
So like, not fake, because obviously I've seen people change.
It's real. It's demanding. I don't think people realize. Guys that just, to me, this is how I see the gym thing. Obviously, because I'm a physio, so I see things from more of a functional standpoint. Yeah. So you know when you have bodybuilders aren't functional. They're just about building aesthetics. Yeah. Building as much muscle as possible. From my perspective and my profession, I see things as like how well you're able to do things and certain movements that you need in your day-to-day life. So for example, if you're someone that let's say like when you're doing, I don't know, what's something that's functional, like a deadlift. Deadlift is a functional movement. So when you're picking up stuff from the floor, it's a similar sort of movement. Yeah, stuff like that. Functional stuff, I don't know, pull-ups, push-ups, step ups.
Skipping's a good one for cardio, isn't it?
Yeah, skipping's a good one as well because it gets your heart rate going as well. Yeah. But yeah, for me, yeah. So as I was saying, like I see the gym thing as I don't care how much weight you can push because if you can't run or if you're climbing up a flight of stairs and you're getting tired, you're useless.
You're useless, yeah.
Because your cardio is shit. What's the point of being big? But then, for example,
like you said, it's not functional.
Yeah,
it's not functional.
Exactly, because now all of a sudden, cool, you're big, you got muscles.
Can't move.
Yeah, you got no stamina. If you run, I'm catching you. And plus, I can run for time. And as much as that, I can still lift good, heavy.
And what you say to those people, like, and this is coming from me, I'm speaking for me as well. Like, I'm someone who a lot of people say, "Oh, Steve, you're so lucky. Like, you eat bears. And one thing about me, my genetics, metabolism. You said it to me. The way I eat,
metabolism, and how tall you are as well. So you need more calories.
So the way I eat, like, people say like rah, but it's like it's true. Cause when I've tried to do the whole let's carry this, my body's tired, bro. Like I can't.
Yeah, but that's because your body is not used to it.
Yeah.
Because so that's why when you're doing something like that, it's about making sure that it's incremental, meaning that you're slowly progressing. If you're going from 0 to 70 or 0 to 100, your body's instantly gonna be shocked.
So how do you cut that down then? So I first start stuff like you need to have more protein and carbs on your plate. Is that something that's a thing? Because I don't eat veggies. Like I don't eat veggies unless it's like the African spinach, okra. I'm not gonna go buy or eat a salad like even jollof.
I'm not a nutritionist, but in my head, because I always tell people that asking me like you shouldn't. Your PT is not a nutritionist. That's another thing people get misconstrued. They think I think it's dangerous when you're asking or when someone from another profession is answering questions that they don't. Yeah, it's dangerous because for example, like little stuff like for example, I've just got my first PT client. Yeah. The first thing I did is we sat down, or we just had a conversation to do with, like for example, her past medical history.
Yeah.
If she's taken any medication. Yeah. If she's had any procedures done. Just stuff like that. Sometimes, if you're just going to a random brother in the gym, who's a PT, some PTs don't even ask that, but they don't know how vital that is. Imagine if you're dealing with someone that has AF, which is a irregular heartbeat, or someone that's got heart problems, someone that's diabetic.
Sickle cell as well.
Exactly. If they're on any medication to do with cholesterol, if they got blood pressure, if they're on blood pressure tablets,
cystic fibrosis,
So all these things, like, it's good to get people. Some PTs don't actually do that stuff, which is crazy. Exactly. So it's like, as I was saying, it can be dangerous sometimes when you're, for example. That's why I remember someone asking me about, is it okay if I take this medication whilst I'm taking my painkillers? This is after they've had a knee surgery. And I remember saying that, listen, from my knowledge, sometimes certain medications you shouldn't take together. So I'm not well versed in that. So maybe speak to the consultant who done your surgery or a nurse. They'll be able to tell you that, because I don't want to give you something that's wrong and then something.
And I love what you said as well, where it's okay to not know something.
Yeah.
And I feel like people in this day and age of everything's so quick and fast, they want to be the one that's right, but when you're doing something that's, being a physio and a PT, you gotta remember there's a responsibility over someone's life here.
Yeah. Facts.
So that's the thing where people, and not just in PT, but in other stuff where, like, if someone comes to me and asks me, I'm good at all sports, but they ask me something about, like, cricket or something, I wouldn't go be giving them technique about sport. Just because I'm an athletic person,
it doesn't mean
I wouldn't be a be-all and end-all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I mentioned something before whereby, one thing I've learned, obviously in the side of physio, I'm in the orthopedic side, which is surgery, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, I deal with people that have ACL surgeries, knee replacements, hip replacements, foot, if they had ankle surgery, foot surgery. So, my learning is very much evidence-based, or my practice is very much evidence-based, meaning that the stuff that or the sessions I'm putting on for someone, the exercises I'm given, is evidence-based, meaning research has been done, before I'm prescribing this person this exercise, because for example, like an ACL rehab, you wouldn't start jogging until at least 3 months into rehab. Obviously, 3 months is the minimum. Some people might take them longer. As I mentioned, everyone progresses different. But minimum 3 months. So that's because you want to give the knee time to the muscles around the knee to strengthen, and making sure that the person has a good amount of strength, muscular endurance before even thinking about jogging. So as I mentioned, evidence based. For example, like you just said, we're in a world whereby people think their opinions are facts. These times they've got nothing to back it. But just because they said it, they think that's the truth.
It just came in my head that humility will save us from a lot of bad consequences.
I'm telling you.
Humility in terms of being able to say, I don't know this. And bro, like being humble is such a rare thing nowadays where, like you said, people want to take their opinions as fact. And trust me, I see it every day on Twitter where someone will say something and, you know, it might be wrong, but, you know, someone will disagree with it and they'll take it on a personal level because someone disagrees with it. Or I'm just like, bro, there are ways to have conversations where, one, you don't take it personally, two, it's okay to learn. It's okay to be taught.
And I think also is a way of having the conversations about things and not just sounding bitter or
condescending.
I mean, with that being said, like you probably saw online the way people were talking about Stormzy online. Like, Because I want to go into that because I think there's this notion online that I heard that Stormzy doesn't make music for us.
I was one of them still. Let me be real. I was one of them.
It's okay to not like someone's music, but to say his music isn't for us, when man's last 3 tunes he's been dropping, has been just him just rapping. Obviously, he's got the feature on Ray's tune, Weekend, something like that Weekend tune with Ray, which I think is I like that tune surprisingly.
It's a vibe still.
That's what I'm saying. Even one of the tunes that he's rapping on, I mentioned it before. Longevity Flow. Listen, that's one of my. If you go on my you know the on repeat playlist on Spotify, bro, that's like top. I've been playing that tune bare. So I think then, do you know what annoys me? It's like almost like it's this notion that just because a rapper goes mainstream now, that all of a sudden he's making music that's not for us. If that makes sense. Just because he dropped what's that tune? His last album, whereby everything's very like melodic. You're someone that's an advocate of someone. You just said try things. Yeah. You're someone that's an advocate for that.
Yeah, I am.
That's him trying stuff. Before he was grime Stormzy that was spitting on a mic.
I had to, and again to go back to the honesty humility thing. I said that, but then because I think Mimi posted it, so I quit tweeted her. She responded to me. And then she kind of asked me, like, why, when you say us, what do you mean not for us? And then I had to kind of backtrack and be humble about it and say, you know what? I'm wrong in the way I worded it. I wouldn't say he doesn't make music for us. I just feel like there's a disconnect between what he talks about.
So, I see, this is the thing.
Wait. No,
say what you're going to say.
There's a disconnect between what he's saying or, like, maybe in the vibe he's going.
What's the disconnect?
Well, I'll get there. But my second thing was, I believe Stormzy himself, whether he's open limits or not, he's going through an identity crisis.
What?
Hold on. Let me land. My thing was.
If anything, I think he's fine. I think he's found who he is.
No, I think he's found, but I'm saying in
it.
terms of, it's not an identity crisis with, like, internally. It's an identity crisis externally where he hears this. He hears what we're saying. Like, no rapper's gonna not say, oh, like, you know, dog. I'm not saying he cares about it, but he hears the whole. Because he spoke about it on songs that people say, I'm not making songs about the culture, what's like, do. But what I'm saying is, like, I feel like he's going for, he's still trying to feel like, okay, I'm Stormzy, I'm a superstar, he is a superstar, but I can't keep making songs from a part of life where I'm not anymore. Like, I've elevated, do you know what I'm saying? And one thing that, again, I'll say it as well, to be honest, is we want rappers to tell the truth of where they are right now. Facts. Why should we expect Stormzy to backtrack or go back further to where he's not? He's living a different life.
Facts.
One. And secondly, my issue or why I feel like the disconnect is the culture feel like he doesn't make music for them because he's not in the struggle. And that's when I realised as a culture, we need to get out of that mindset that if it's not struggle, it's not about us. because there are black billionaires, millionaires, people doing good for themselves out there. But as we said before many times on this podcast, people just don't like it. People like it when you succeed, but they don't like it when you exceed past the level where they don't see you going. Because now that elation turns to jealousy. I'm like, oh, raw, like I didn't know he'd go this far. Let me be a hater. She shouldn't be that far. Now, let's keep it real, but let's keep it true. Sorry, but also at the same time, my take with Stormzy was that people tell me, oh, but he changed the scene. But my feeling of Stormzy is this, and I don't know, you can rebut after this. Stormzy makes music for moments. And when I say that, I mean, you watch the video, you see it firsthand, yo, this is live. You play it, yo, but it's my different. You play this is live. But it's not something I'll add to my playlist. But if I do hear it and I do go back to it, I remember that moment. And I feel like that's fine because there's many artists, and again, I don't think this is fair to put on Stormzy, that have made music for moments. Stormzy just doesn't have good replay value making music right now. And I feel like, we'll go into this later on because there's another stuff I brought up where Stormzy should now go into his P. Diddy, 50 Cent era of bloody young people.
Yeah,
through.
let me dissect what you just said, yeah. So one, the identity crisis, you saying that externally he hears us, that's not identity crisis. I think he's found who he is and he's embracing it. He's, as you said, he knows he's Stormzy's a superstar. Do you know why he's feeling like this? Yeah. Because of course he hears what everyone's talking about. Of course, every rapper hears what people are talking about. For him, he said he's realized that, yo, hold on, as you said, I'm Stormzy. I've been in this thing for 10 plus years. I don't think people realise that. He's been in the rap scene for 10 plus years.
Wicked Skengman came out like, I think that was 11 or 12.
Bro, that's something over 10 years. 10 years plus. It was. He's been in this game for 10 years plus. So when all these nobodies, as he may think he may call them, and you know, he's in his right to call them all these nobodies are speaking on about him like he's some anybody. Of course he should feel like that. Yeah. Now for the thing as you mentioned about the struggle, listen, I don't know about everyone else. This is a you lot's problem. But when Stormzy is telling me or flexing about how much the Patek on his wrist costs, I can't lie, that makes me smile. Yeah. And that motivates me. I don't know about you lot that have jealousy creeping in you whereby you're like, I can't relate to him because you'd rather hear about a guy in a trap. Yeah. I can't lie.
And that's what someone tires me, bro. That's what something about the hypocrisy is that you will say you relate to a Blade Brown, but you've never been a criminal. You've never done anything criminal in your life. And then I was like, you know what?
You ain't moved a thing in your life. Let alone drugs. You ain't moved a thing in your life.
You ain't even stole Haribos.
Bro, not even stole Haribos. You ain't even sold sweets in the playground before. That, bro. You don't know about hustling.
You never had detention in your life. Yeah. Been a good youth. 100% punctuality.
No, and the thing is, I love being a good youth. Yeah. But like, my thing is with people is that I feel like Stormzy's in his almost like in his Jay-Z bag, in a way whereby he's like, he's done what he's needed to do. He's solidified. Yeah. I don't care what anyone says. And he's realised that, yo, Dave doing what he's doing, J Hustle's doing what he's doing, Central C's doing what he's doing, and he's gonna embrace them. And he's gonna like, look at the way he's dropping even. He's not dropping trying to be on the charts. This is Stormzy we're talking about. He's had a number one album before a lot of these guys had a number one album. Like, he's just dropping music, rapping, and I feel like now he's rapping because, and he's talking his talk because now that, as you mentioned,
there's no pressure to sell high. Yeah.
No, not even that. There's no pressure because he's gonna sell regardless. He's not under pressure from no one. Like, he's gonna sell regardless. He just sold out the O2 twice. Him and Dave did it more or less. I think he did it just before Dave. But forgetting, he had a world tour just before lockdown that got cancelled. That he was going to Australia.
Yeah, he was.
How many rappers can even chat and say that? Oh yeah, I'm going to Sydney to go on my world tour.
World tour.
Let alone the only person I see that's gone onto them sides is Central C right now. And Skepta went Japan years ago, and then Dave hasn't even done that.
Sims has done it. She got massive.
No, to Australia and Asia.
Yeah, she was just in Sydney, like.
Oh, was it? So, yeah. Well, yeah. So all these people that are talking, like, whoa, like this is Stormzy we're talking.
Do you know? I feel like you said no. He's seen Huss, Dave, and C.
Yeah, these are the new.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I said, it might end the note. Do you feel like he's now in that 50 Cent, P Diddy.
Not
type.
50 Cent. He's in his Jay-Z bag.
I
wouldn't say 50 Cent because 50 Cent isn't like.
I'm not saying in terms of 50. But 50 Cent always shows love to the young rappers. Like they'll all like even recently he brought J Cole out. J Cole said, "Get Rich or Die Trying, greatest album of all time." But like the younger.
Yeah, but 50 is not really. He's not known for that. And why I say Jay is because, like, he picks and chooses his moments. Like, for example, when Jay dropped 444, like, he might feature on this tune or that tune, and it's like behind the scenes, he's doing things, and he's not telling anyone about it. Yeah. It's people that will come out and say, "Yo, Stormzy's like he's done this and this for me," like, and the way. Like, just in general, he just embraces everyone, and you can tell he's doing it from whereby it's a love. It's not something whereby like a lot of these people that sometimes like they're doing it in a standpoint whereby they want to get credit from everyone.
Yeah. They
profit off it.
Like they straight co-sign as much as he co-signs others. He profits off it as well.
Like you can tell the relationship between Stormzy and Dave is real. It's not no industry because we're both rappers.
He sees him as like younger brother.
Yeah, you and you can tell, you can see that. So, yeah, as I was saying, that Stormzy, this ideology that I saw or that I've seen online, that Stormzy feels threatened by Dave, Central C, and all these man. He needs to quickly think of a new tune that's got replay value because he needs to chart. He's charted already. He's done what he's needed to do.
But do you honestly think now his songs are replayed? This isn't. And I'm just saying.
Personally, the first, as of recently, Longevity Flow.
But that was one of 3 songs he dropped because the Fredo thing was dead. I'll be real.
Toxic Trait, I still play that here and there, but at the same time, yeah, 1 out of 3 tunes. The way people talk because listen, forget Central C, forget Dave, forget J Hus. Them 3 are doing what they're doing. Yeah. How many rappers
outside
have tunes that are even popping like that? Sprinter's been number 1 for 10 weeks. How many rappers can even say that? How many rappers can say that they've even stood in their? No one's even done that. So, and this is Stormzy's, but this is technically Stormzy's in that realm. Do you get what I'm saying? So this idea that he has to, he has to put out a tune that's going number 1, that's in the top 5 charts, and blah, blah, blah.
What annoys me about this conversation is when we say the culture, we're just not being real. And I think someone said it where it's like, I'd rather people say they don't rate Stormzy than say that whole, sorry, they don't rate Stormzy's music. They say the whole, he's not for the culture. Because this is a guy that has a book club sending people to universities on scholarships for the culture. Someone that spoke up for Black Lives Matter, the culture. Someone like you said, like Dave, where he's openly co-signed Dave and he's helping him get all these things, be in all these places in the culture. And my other thing is that, then what is the culture then? Because we can't say something this one for the culture who's doing all this good. So what is the culture that you said? What are we trying to identify as the culture as? Because I don't know, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know because even me, I had to take a step back. You know what? My first take was wrong. I just worded it wrong. I still think Stormzy definitely for the culture. Maybe just the way he raps is just not something that connects with me, which is fine. Like, he doesn't have to. He has nothing to prove, which I've also agreed on as well. Stormzy was never my cup of tea. But for you to then go out and say this guy is not for the culture, you're just taking it overboard.
I think when people say he's not for the culture, they mean as in musically. Because of the way he's talking, it's the struggle. As we mentioned, he's not talking about the struggle no more. So that means you're not for the culture. Whereas we need to. In my head, yeah, when I see these guys doing what they're doing, rapping about what they're rapping about, and this is what their reality is about. I'm thinking, do you know how sick this is? That I don't think people realize. Like for example, do you know how crazy it is? Like, I hate to touch on the numbers, but in general, when you're seeing rappers that are charting in the official charts and they're able to actually live off rapping, whereby in the past guys weren't able to do that. We complain that we always see people and complain like, it's so unfortunate that he has to go back to doing what he's doing before. These guys are able to actually live off rapping and music, and you know, I don't think. I don't think people realize like how sick that is. The fact that as I just mentioned that Dave and Central C are number 1 for 10 weeks on the official charts. It's not Taylor Swift or Adele or big up Adele, but it's not Taylor Swift, Adele or Beyonce or the typical names. This is just brothers. It's brothers that look like us that are on the charts, that are charting, that look like just like me and you.
I love what you say. Look like us, bro.
That come from similar ends. That look like man them that we see every day, that we're around, that we grow up with. These are the guys that are doing their thing. So I don't. For me personally, if you're someone out there that is rubbed the wrong way, or you're out there commenting negative, like these man are shit, it's like you have issues. Because to me, that makes me happy. When I see Dave in Central C, when I see K-Trap in Canada or Toronto rapping warm, and I've seen Canadians rapping these tunes, like as I mentioned, that like K-Trap is another brother that I've seen in my life before every day, or that I've grown up with. Do you get what I'm saying? That's how I see it. So when people are bitter about it, to me, it's like you're weird. And the thing is, I'm not. And I know people be thinking, oh, there's nothing wrong with us thinking that a song's not good or cool. There's a lot of rappers that I think aren't that great, but I'm not gonna come out here and start slating them and thinking, or going online as well behind a burner account or behind your main account if you think you're that person, and then just tweeting bare negative shit. How am I gonna do that?
Yeah, and you know what's funny? The people's reactions online and offline. It will show the.
Online,
what
always
shows,
shit.
yeah, is the. Let me know this one.
How much of a pussy you are. To me, that's what
it
shows.
Yeah, to you, but I'm saying my one is more like it shows the character of your heart.
Yeah.
Because like Ben said, if you're seeing people that are doing well, coming from the same ends as you, look like you,
that look like your brethren,
and your heart isn't warm to that,
that's what I'm saying.
You've just got no one has a bad heart, but there's something in your heart that needs to be checked. Because you're seeing through the eyes of jealousy, you're seeing through the eyes of covetousness, if you know what I mean. That means taking something that I see someone else has. But that's also a good time, because at the end of the day, like Ben said, you should see that as a stepping stone or something that you can do. And the whole like, it's sad, man, because like, oh bro, I hate seeing our culture like this. Because what I want to say is, now we've always said the Americans or the rest of the world don't respect our thing musically. We are now at the forefront of it musically.
They're coming to us.
Bro.
Lil Durk is in Central C's comment section saying, "Listen, I'm gonna leak our tune."
Before,
do you know what I mean?
Bobby Schmadders and Ends in the studio with Rimsey.
He's probably around here.
Dude, he's trying to talk on the English. He's all up in the blogs and streamers of UK. Like, bro, like
that's what I'm
Sprinter's taking over. Who told you dance tune?
Yeah.
Like, so to a point now where there's people like Joe Budden's pod. Did you see that guy Ice was like, yo,
Afrobeats.
I'm tired of the Afrobeats.
Yeah, but the thing is, forget about him. Shout out to you why? Because even now, look at Afrobeats as well.
It's massive.
Afrobeats is massive.
Biggest genre in the world.
Burna Boy, that's what I'm saying. When I see Burna Boy doing what he's doing in stadiums, all these Little Durk and Little Baby,
they're cancelling dates.
They've cancelled 1-2 dates.
Yeah.
They're still doing their thing in arenas, but the fact that Burna Boy's come where he's come from, Burna Boy is local. Burna Boy is from East.
Bro, he's
East
doing
London.
Beyonce type venues.
That's what I'm saying. And he's doing that in America. He's not just doing it in Africa or maybe the UK.
Bro,
him
so
and
this is what I'm saying.
Like,
we now need to now get with the pro that UK's on top and use that to advantage, bro. And this ain't no begging up to the Europe or the USC no more. Yeah.
And do you know what? Do you know one thing I've been, because I always used to hear, I think you may have said it. I'm not sure if correct me if you still believe this. But you know when people say American music's better than UK, people have been saying that. You know when there was I think maybe like a year or two ago.
The whole quality still is though.
It's not to me though. UK rap to me is better than American rap.
But shall I tell you why that's dishonest? You just said outside of Central C.
I listen to Rimsey. I listen to Blade. I listen to Trap. I listen to Young's Teflon. I listen to Pot of Paper. Yeah, Dave, as I mentioned. I still listen. J House here and there. Yeah, these guys are like top rappers. Top rappers. If you want, you can throw in Nines even. Nines has dropped a cold project. Who else? There's so many rappers that are rapping sick. America, if I'm being real, the women are on top right now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Lil Baby, he ain't dropped nothing.
But music Lil
Durk ain't dropped.
The only thing that puts America up right now is the discography of past. But I'll be with you right now.
And Drake don't count for American music. Drake, I don't categorize Drake as American rap. Do you categorize Drake as American rap?
That nigga wants to be American, bro.
He wants to be from North.
You say that?
Bro, he's rapping about being in N15. He wants to be from London, bro.
What did you think about that freestyle? Honest.
It's cool. It's cool.
It's just alright, isn't it?
It's cool. Yeah. It's cool. And there's nothing wrong with it. I still listen. I listen to it. I listen to it a couple times every day. It's cool.
Yeah,
It's alright. So I felt Central C done his thing on there. I think he probably sounded better on Drake on that. Personally, that's what I feel. But yeah, it's a cool freestyle.
It was good. You know, it was good for Drake to do that for Central.
Yeah, I'd say as I Vims. I forgot to, Tiny Boost. You got all these UK rappers that are rapping. I'm sorry, but these Americans, they're not rapping on the same level as.
No, they ain't.
They're not. And the thing is, I feel like a lot of, and we've mentioned about UK haters. I feel like people are scared to say that, but they don't realize. But I feel like some people
scared to say what?
As in, people are scared to go out on a limb and say that the UK's rap is making better rap music than American. To me, that's a fact right now.
I don't think you can deny that, and that's a big American.
Some people will deny it, but I feel like people are still in the bondage of thinking that because it's America. No, not even that it's 2019. Because it's America, it's better just because it's from over there.
Yeah,
and that happens in just life in general. I remember when AJ was speaking about in terms of boxing, whereas a lot of boxers used to go over to America because they used to think because you got guys like Mike Tyson, like the whole history of boxing. A lot of the fighters come from America. Yeah. UK brothers will go over to America to get a trainer because they think that cool. If I go over there, that's when my career is gonna excel. I'm gonna be better. You got Floyd Mayweather, all these guys come from there, innit? Whereas he was like, no, like I'm gonna just be in here from London. I'm gonna do my thing here in the UK and put UK and British boxing on the map.
Forget music. We need to stop thinking in life. Even entertainment, bro. We got some serious funny brothers on TikTok, bro. K Soulstar, like that Pat's guy that's always
all these man.
Like, and this is what we say about UK. We need to bro. These man should not be allowed to be nothing in the next 2 years.
I'm sorry.
They need to be up there, like
Specs, PK Humble.
Humble.
I'll be so real. Yeah, Drewski is funny, but I'm sorry, Specs is funnier than Drewski to me. No, Specs is funnier, bro. I'm sorry. I
don't think Drewski's that funny though. So I'll take that.
I think Drewski.
No, Drewski's funny, but
he's funny, but Specs.
No, I'm
PK
real.
Humble. These man make me laugh. These
Drewski has fat tax.
What do you mean? What?
He has fat tax, bro.
What is? Oh, as in
a lot of his jokes. He's funny,
that's
but
facts.
A lot of his jokes are precedence on him being fat, bro. Specs is funnier. Like who even from America, bro? Do you know who's funny in America? What's that guy's name? The Atlanta guy, skinny guy.
DC Young Fly.
No, DC he's hilarious, but
he's funny. Though. He's funny.
He's hilarious. Why did that man then did the funny one? I'll talk about the guy from Atlanta, bro. The one that.
Are you talking about Gideon?
No, the Instagram one is bigger than Instagram. What's his name?
The one that loves LeBron.
No, he's skinny head like he talks like oh bro, what's his name? He did the what skit did he do? Oh niggas like Black Forces energy, like niggas are
so many people have done.
Oh bro,
search it, but yeah, like to me it's like this ideology that a lot of UK people need to break out. This ideology that because someone's from America, or just because people are doing what we do in America, that is better. Like I get, of course, America is like for example, you know with rap, yeah. I get that America, like hip hop, is birthed from America. Do you get what I'm saying? And cool, it's been better. Rap's probably been better over the majority of the years, yeah. But I feel like for me, yeah, I'll happily go out on a limb and say that right now UK rap is better than for the current UK rappers. They're rapping currently better than the US rappers, and I'm not scared to say that. I feel like a lot of people, like I said, are in that bondage that because it's in America, it's instantly better than thingies, instantly better than the UK. Why do you think that the US female rappers are on top right now? Because the US American rappers ain't doing shit.
They're selling sex, bro. Let's be real, man.
No. But they've been trying to sell sex for how many years? It's only now that it's popping because the man them aren't
pulling their weight, bro.
That's why. So now it's just overtaken. If I'm being real,
this comedian, it's annoying me.
Bro, even when you look at, bro, I don't think people realize how big Central C is out there.
It's massive.
Central C is massive to the point whereby Americans.
Our boys in America even told me like.
Americans are looking to collab. Even I remember seeing Latto on Kick Game. She was like, bro, Central C is massive out there. Like, do you know how many American artists I'm seeing? Oh, I would love. They say, how can I be homophobic? My bitch is gay, and all of a sudden they're trying to say, I would love to collab with Central C, man. How many American artists have you heard in history, apart from Drake, yeah, or even though Drake doesn't count as I mentioned, that have said I want to collaborate with this UK artist? Without the UK artist, Central C doesn't. You know Central C, he don't beg it with none of these, man.
He doesn't.
You don't ever hit. I've never heard him say.
He actually doesn't.
He doesn't at all.
He doesn't.
obviously there's nothing wrong with saying I'd love to collab with this artist.
Nothing at all.
But all I hear, and I can tell these man got no knowledge of Central C. They just know that he's popping, and he has that Doja tune that's popping in America. So then they think, he'll be a good way for me to sell.
Doja's been on one recently, man.
No, well, Doja's she's ever since I said this before. Ever since Central C dropped Doja, she's been moving. I told you she was in the clubs with coke.
That's it, bro. Desi Banks.
Oh, Desi Banks, yeah.
Bro,
yeah.
that is
he's
funny.
funny.
He's funny. That's what I'm saying.
He's funny.
He's genuinely
funny, but
hilarious,
that's the thing.
bro.
Okay, cool. Them man are funny, yeah. But I'll put Specs and these man on that level. All these, we got personality.
PK Humble and Specs are naturally funny, man.
Hilarious.
But that's what I'm saying. These man are MTV level type.
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. All these K-Sauce and that Paps, all these man that are black, they need to make our own version of we're not loafing wild out, but do that. Let's support them as a community, as a culture, bro. Because these man even.
But and that's the thing. Sorry, that's the thing. Was that that's the thing about America. This is why Americans, when they do their thing, they go to another shit. Yeah. Sorry, they go to another level because they support. Obviously, as we know, they've got their population is more, but they support each other. Like for example, someone like Moneybagg Yo, he's from Memphis, or Lil Baby from Atlanta. We talk about Atlanta rappers. These men support each other. They come together because they know that, okay, cool. This guy is from my environment, same environment as me. Let's put him on. Everyone speaks about how Young Thug, for example, was always he will pay for the studio session. He will let. You mentioned about Little Baby help Young Thug as well. Like how he will
put, Baby.
Yeah. About how because they support each other because they know that if he
they
goes
found talent and he said, "Joe, you're too talented to be doing this BS here."
In this country, I feel like it happens, but it doesn't happen enough.
Jarring,
it doesn't happen enough.
I keep saying it like man, them will stingy. They repost. I said it costs you something to repost or to share something and I even saw a guy, I think it was K-Sauce, like this something where like you see someone you rate in real life, and then he was walking over to him and was like, yo, I saw you know you from somewhere. Yeah. And he was like, man's not a beg, but let me get a picture, bro. Well, that's how man they move in real life. You're like, bro, you support him, it's calm, bro.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with saying.
It's okay to be a fan, Ben.
Oh, that's honestly
it's okay.
I was gonna say
fan behavior is not a bad thing.
I'm telling
you're not even loafing them. What fan bees is what you know what a fan is? A fan means that you're in cohesion with whatever they're feeding you, bro. It means that you agree, you support them. It's all good. Fan is just another word for support.
Exactly.
But we've turned this fandom into you're loafing, you're big. That doesn't mean you're big.
Or I think people are in the mindset that
or if it's not popular, they're not going to support it till it's popular. What the heck is that?
Yeah, that's cool. I always been one of them people whereby it's like, listen, because I kind of realised that people aren't going to support you until it's popular. That's just how I condition my mind. So that's how I think of it. But in my head, I feel like people think that if you say you're a fan of someone, especially when it's someone that, as you mentioned, which is crazy to me, that comes from the same environment as you, that looks like you, that has grown up in the same ends as you, or is basically grown up in the same environment as you. People think that if you say you're a fan of them, that means you're belittling yourself, or that means you're putting that person above you.
Do you want to know why?
But it's like, yeah, go on.
Do you want to know why? Because what it does is it exposes people for their fear. Or let me say it like this: a lot of men hate on people doing certain stuff because they're too afraid. They want to do.
Yeah, they're too afraid to do it. They that's what I'm saying. They're pussy-os.
Projection and it's a security.
People are pussy-os.
One thing I've matured is I've got that, and it's why. Again, I know we keep saying it, but Stephen and that guys, when I say this channel is going to be big by God's grace in Jesus' name, the stuff me and Ben got coming up, like it's not, bro. There's stuff we look back on. We said it. There's episode we watch back and we're like, what the heck did you? Why did you do that? But everything's coming because now we're at a point where we can't keep letting our fears hold us back, bro. We're a year plus into this thing, bro, and that's nothing. But what we're saying is that don't come, and nothing in life comes without no consistency and trying new things.
Yeah,
that's what the world is. What are inventions? Inventions are people trying out new things for a need. That's what they are, and now they've become necessities. Where the first light bulb, who's thinking, oh, light bulb, cool. Now you can't live without light. You know what I'm saying? So it's stuff like that. Why each trying to push the boundaries every single day. These man doing something, they've pushed the boundary for you to a point where they said, I've done this, now you can do this and
so
take it
even further, it makes you more comfortable to be able to do that.
Bro,
look how for example, with Afro beats in general, we can relate it back to music that, for example, Like, or I don't know, sounds of music. Like, what's the sound that people were doing before that? I don't know, auto-tuned. Kanye, for example. When Kanye was doing his thing, when he put in the 808s and stuff, Yeezus, when he made the Yeezus, for example, people were thinking, what the fuck's this? I was one of them. I was one of them.
Travis album was the one.
I was one of them. Yeezus birthed Travis and all these man, Kid Cudi and all these guys. Do you get what I'm saying? So, like, he pushed the boundaries. Kanye was someone that was an advocate for musically pushing the boundaries. And people at first didn't get it, but in his head is like, you're the same people that are constantly following and are so insecure in yourselves to actually try something new, that you're trying to put your insecurities on me and you're trying to make me feel how you'd feel. So why have I got to feel like the way you feel? That's Kanye was a big advocate for that. So yeah, it applies the same thing in life. Just because you see a guy that do you know what annoys me? Is the fact that you said this before. People are so caught up in the old version of yourself that when they see the new version of you, now all of a sudden they feel the type of way. Just because this person's upgraded. Now all of a sudden you feel the type of way because that's the same person that you used to laugh at. Now this person's upgraded. Now you're thinking on yourself. Now you're thinking, oh shit, like you feel threatened. But to me, it's like, how can you feel like that?
But it's not threatened. Flip it. It's embarrassment. Because sometimes it's not even like you feel upgraded. Sometimes it's that your mindset has changed.
And the thing is, now sometimes people look at themselves like, oh, this person's really gone from here to here, and I'm here right now. And this person, obviously, we're in a world whereby everything looks like social media, externally, like everyone sees someone. I was like, wow, like that's crazy. And now all of a sudden, that's how, for example, which is crazy to me. That's how people will start like either goes two way. Either people will be like, wow, fuck with you now, as you mentioned, because like something switched, and now all of a sudden you look like you're popping, or you look like you're that person. So now all of a sudden they want to fuck with you, or it turns into, that guy, he's stealing all that. Now there's some jealousy and envy, and now all of a sudden, and it's like, to me, like, it's sad that this is the world we're living in, because it just seems like, is in everything that's good out there, is kind of crazy and sad, but there's always just something bad. And unfortunately, it's always bad that comes out of just something good, which is just annoying. Because, like, for example, like now, like, as we just mentioned, someone's decided to change their life and elevate in life and start doing something in their life that's going to take them to the next level. And because someone's seen them that was at their previous level, same level as them, and now they've seen them get to this level, but they're struggling to take that next step or actually progressing that. Like, it's basically taking them a bit longer. Now all of a sudden, instead of focusing on themselves continuously, they're stopping, making a pit stop, looking at you continuously driving, and they're thinking, why is he still going? How come he's gotten there and I'm still here? And to me, yeah, exactly. But to me, it's like everyone's time is different.
Watching this today, that anyone who is living vicariously through someone else, stop right now, because you living through them does not change your own situation. You're watching someone go 50 miles per hour ahead. You're checking their fuel. You're checking their aerodynamics. You're checking their wings. You're checking their steering, whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
But then you come back to your own pit stop, your pit lane, and you haven't even moved.
It's mad.
I want to tell people, to even positively or negatively, that your life won't change just looking at someone else. Yes, you can get wisdom from them. Yes, you can get advice. Yes, you can learn the direction of the way.
Yeah.
But until you start applying some of that to yourself and believe in yourself, you're not going to do nothing. And it's sad that you see that, because at the end of the day, sometimes we're like Ben said, in this social media era, we are slaves and subjects to intaking too much information.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's too much. Things are too accessible to us, so we feel like we have to do certain stuff, or like we were talking about earlier before, the fitness stuff, where because a fitness guru said it must be true. And like, no, like sometimes you just have to learn, like you said, your own body, your own tics, your own different type of stuff. But yeah, it's not. I want to quickly talk on the whole sensitive situation. But
what situation?
Sensitive situation, sorry.
Oh yeah.
On the Greenwood and Mendy stuff. No, like we don't have to. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm listening.
I'm proceeding. Nah, it's not even the thing. I just want to see where your head's at in relation to.
You start first.
Okay, I'll start. So, if you don't know, 2 footballers have been found not guilty by the courts. One didn't even. It was by the courts because they reached court, so it means there wasn't enough evidence supposedly. But
with
Greenwood one, because that's gone to court. But yeah. So yeah. So obviously there's a lot of discourse right now about whether the players should be back for Greenwood in terms of where because he hasn't gone to court.
So quickly, did you hear the report from BBC Sport that Man United are gonna liaise with the women's team first before making that decision?
That's all palaver, man. They made a decision. They just delayed it because there was a woman's, I think, kind of like riot they were planning. So, because I meant to announce it today that it was coming back, but because of that woman's protest, they're just trying to delay it. Because really and truly, this is gonna sound negative. Football's a business. The women's football team does not bring in the money for United. So, that's what I'm gonna say on that. Yeah. So there's an argument for Greenwood saying, bro shouldn't be playing because, we heard the tapes. But then again, another argument comes in where social media courts is not real life. Because if we go on social media courts, bro, the amount of stuff we've seen, like recently, Tory Lanez just got put for 10 years. Most of the social media I saw, I'll say for me, he was saying he was innocent, free him, Meg, Bro got slapped to heavy, 10 years, bro. Anyway, that's another thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. The other one, Mendy, he went to court. I think it was like 16 different, something like that. Mad, bare charges.
Yeah.
None was found guilty. Now he's playing again, but he's now suing for his money back that they didn't pay him. They're saying again, should he play?
Rightly so. If he's found no guilty, the evidence that they've seen and they've
But now, that's the interesting thing I'm saying. Because maybe just me being a law buff, me just graduating from law, yeah. But does it make Mendy's situation better?
But do you know why you have to be so careful? Yeah. Obviously, there's some men that are gonna be like, he's found no guilty, so he's not guilty. Okay, cool. Let's keep it 100. How many men do we know that have done fuckery? When I mean fuckery, let's say for example, there's people that are that know that a man has murdered someone and he's bust case, but he's done. Everyone knows that he's done it, but no one's gonna say anything. You're gonna tell me that he's not guilty? No, let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100. I'm not gonna speak too much, but there's situations for a fact I know that someone's done this. They went to court for it. They bust case, but I know for a fact that they've done it. The person within certain circles, the person has said, I did, Joe.
But bro, man, you know what I'm gonna say though.
So that's why when people come online and say, and there's nothing wrong with it, but I'm just saying you lot don't pick and choose. That's what I'm saying. In this world, we're all hypocrites. Because let's keep it 100. I'm just keeping it 100 now, based on the evidence with Mendy. Okay, cool. For me, when it comes to these situations, it's just so, you gotta be so careful. You gotta be so careful, because and from both sides, from the girl's point of view and Mendy's point of view, going out on a limb without waiting for the evidence to come out and saying he did it because he has this amount of charges you have to be very careful, because then look how much money he's lost on, look how much he spent for courts, and at the same time, man, like I mentioned, someone can be found not guilty, but they did that shit.
And lastly, that you said, the apologies are never as loud.
Yeah, facts.
As the kid.
Facts. It's facts. Everyone's scared to.
Everyone's so quick to banish on someone.
Yeah.
That when the truth comes out,
you're so quick to run on social media, but now he's found not guilty. You aren't quick to come and say. Some people
3 years of his life, bro. That's a guy.
That was
this is me talking. I'm not talking about the kids. I'm talking about separately. Imagine your whole life you've worked about. I really know it's not easy to make a professional ball, bro. Especially play for Man City. Your whole life you're working towards that football. 3 years gone just like that. And people say, yeah, but I was running to the footballer. But it's more like it's the mental aspect of my sacrifice that I've done, bro. Think about it in any workplace where for 3 years, things should just be taken out of your own hand where you're not allowed to do something.
Bro, mad.
That's mad, bro.
It's mad. It's sad as well, though. It's sad as well, but it's like.
And I got a sister. I'm saying this before because at Benson, we all know people that have women reprimanded for the things they should be that they've done. But going back to the Greenwood case, see, I don't know how to feel about this one because the cynical law in me says, trust me, bro, if these men had enough evidence, or
what's enough evidence?
So what I mean is,
because there's voice notes and there's bruises on the girl.
Yeah, but
what more? Give me an example of something that she need apart from like the blatant CCTV camera.
Yeah,
within their room.
They will need her to corroborate, which is a bit techie if she's already in a relationship, or because we know that the statistics that a lot of people who are in domestic violence
are scared to cooperate, which is 100%.
Secondly, this world of AI has been going on before this year, and I said,
wait, hold on, the world of AI.
Yeah, you get what I'm trying to get to. I'm not on the point that I want people to read this to what I'm saying here. What we saw on social media, we always have to take with a pinch of salt. One, because it's social media. Two, because the context. The voice note, that was something where I said, alright, cool, yo. But in the insult society we live in, I'm not saying between a man and them, we know there are guys like that. The same guy that will say, hey, yo, he's da-da-da-da. But we've seen how you talk to girls live all, fam, on road. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, and thirdly, so I said this in the group chat, and the man took back. I said, man, this is crazy, but I'm not saying nothing, and I can't say he's guilty or not guilty until I see what happens. Because I know as a black man, but I'm not trying to take it there. If they had something on Greenwood, he's gone. I promise. Same way they tried to go for Mendy hard, because these are guys that are big in society where they would want to make a statement. Let's be real, bro. The police would want to make a statement of you, make a scapegoat and be like, make an example. So the fact for me that Greenwood, 18 months, they didn't have enough evidence to even go to a trial. I'm not saying win the trial, but go to a trial. There is something, and I'm just saying, there is something that we're missing or we haven't been told about the situation. Because the Mendy one, we get it. He went to trial. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Bust it. But, like he said, with what evidence we saw, you would think that's enough. But then obviously the dad coming out and saying, yo, they're just enough. It's just there's some... Let's keep it short if we're going to...
Yeah, obviously, now, for example, like, you have to think of stuff holistically.
Yeah.
Whereby, cool, yeah, the dad's come out. But at the same time, the argument out there is going to be, this is Mason Greenwood, Man United, young star, on 80k a week.
Yeah.
The provider, Nike endorsement, Cadbury endorsement, plays for Man United, the biggest club in the world, you can argue. Or, yeah, basically, you can argue basically the biggest club in the world, or one of the... And all of a sudden now, he goes to prison. The girl loses more or less everything. He loses because his contract will get terminated. And then the lifestyle... Yeah. Some people will think about that, and unfortunately, as much as people might feel like, nah, he did that shit, that's not the reason why, blah blah blah. Like, that's just the reality. How many times, like, even just in relationship, we mentioned it. You just mentioned it now, whereby there's some, like, and it happens in relationships, unfortunately, that whereby women will endure through something like that just because. Of the status of the man. Yeah. It happens. Yeah. And sometimes, like, the man not even on the same status as Mason Greenwood.
Yeah. And they feel like they don't stay there because they feel like, oh, this is a worthy trade for the lifestyle I'm living, or I can live with this guy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's fair, but, you know...
Yeah, that's just the reality.
That's trauma.
It happens.
Trauma love.
You see, you see all the time whereby girls are scared to leave because they don't know what they're going to do with themselves after, because they
don't have an identity of themselves. That domestic violence strip them of their identity.
Because they rely so heavily on the man sometimes, or like the marriage. So it's like...
So what, do you think Greenwood should play? Just get out there.
I don't support Man United, so I don't care. I'm an Arsenal through and through, so I'm not going to answer that. Party's got nothing to do with this. It's got nothing to do with this.
You see me, yeah?
You try to drop Party's name and that. Yeah.
You see me, yeah? But, because what I said to the man them is the same man them, and I know them, And they agreed with me. They actually agreed. They said, you know what, you're right. These same man saying, "Oh, we want this filthy to come out of our club." I promise you, if he bangs a goal at OT,
listen. I said
they're
this.
Screaming his name. If he bangs at you,
if he comes, if Greenwood, if they let Greenwood play, yeah, but he everyone knows that he's gonna get slaughtered by fans away every single game.
He knows that though.
He knows that. However,
he knows that
the best way for him, if he does to shut everyone up, if he does come back, is have a 20-goal season.
Bang goals.
Back to if he has one, I'll say one full season and he's on crud.
He's on crud. And that's the annoying thing, because we know
that's
he's
the
on
reality.
crud, bro.
That's the reality.
And that's what I'm saying, because, come on, bro, I said to you, if it was 1-1 in a game, you bring Grilled on, he bangs the last minute goal.
And he's celebrating.
The same man that were chanting, yo, he's a hero, they're going to remix that chant, call him a hero, bro. Bro, football fandom is not real life, bro. These men are fickle, bro.
The same man, as I mentioned, that in comment sections abusing players, when they see them, no, you're not hearing the
Inter Milan fans will call him Romelu Lukaku a monkey, their own player. Yeah. And then he scored for them winners, they're screaming, oh, Lukaku. Bro, football, man. Let's keep it a buck, bro.
That's the thing.
Let's keep it a buck. No, bro, come on, let's keep it a buck, bro.
It's mad like that. Oh, there was one more thing I wanted to say about the Greenwood. I'm trying to put my finger. What was I going to say? Oh, there was something about Greenwood I was going to mention, or football in general.
Football, I'm going to say one thing I say is football mirrors society. While Ben thinks about that, football mirrors society in terms of, like, as Ben was talking about, when you're rich, you live a different moral, social status lifestyle to us. There are more things you can get away with your money, not just because of your money, but because of who you are. Like, we've seen a lot of stuff over social media recently about cancel culture, this, that, and people forget about it any day. And
I got it now. Yeah. I got it now. So, for example, yeah, I've seen, like, if we're speaking it from both sides, yeah, I've seen in real life, let's be real, footballers are targets, not just to man them, to girls as well. Yeah. We have to take that into account. Like, I've seen it live or in my face, how girls move around guys around footballers even. I've seen it live or how easy it is for man them. Do you get what I'm saying? And the thing is that these girls, they know who they are. Instagram, we see Instagram, you see a footballer, I don't know.
Haaland scored already, 4 minutes in.
Who's that?
Haaland scored already.
Oh, that's my FPL.
Yeah.
Oh, fun. Yeah, we've seen how these footballers are. Their jaws on. As I mentioned, they're targets to man them. They got man them that will try and rob them. So yeah, like they're targets to man, as I mentioned, man them and to girls. So we have to take this into consideration, unfortunately, because it's just the world that we're living in. Like, girls will happily, and it's true. I don't care what anyone says. Girls will happily sleep with a footballer just to say, I slept with a footballer because like, for example, because it's Jack Grealish. This is Jack Grealish, Man City star, sponsored by Gucci, 1 point or however million followers he's got. Like, they'll happily say, oh yeah, I was with Jack Grealish last night on his table, this, that, and the other. Like, that's a thing. So we have to take that into consideration as well. And it's like, we have to realise that, and as I mentioned as well, man them as well, footballers are wearing all these watches and kettles and stuff in London or in a club. There's man them outside that will have that will be basically prowling around the radius of a club like Tape or Libertine, knowing that there's man them of a certain status or financial wealth to try and prey on them. So this is the reality that we need to actually consider as well. But people don't. They don't do that. So, for example, when you consider someone like a Mendy's case, for example, when they see that the girl searched up his net worth, unfortunately, that's evidence that you have to take into play because, as I just mentioned, footballers are targets, unfortunately. People are out there knowing that these guys are millionaires, trying to prey on that and trying to get a quick buck.
Please, if you're doing something up in the sports entertainment world, be careful who you're around. I want to say one thing before we move on to the next conversation is, this is why I have to believe in God. Because the world has no morals, or the world shifts its morals when it suits them.
Honestly.
The world tells us, yo, this and this is wrong. Unless you're in a certain tax bracket, and then they say, but you know what? You don't have to have accountability for this because it's not your fault, because you have to go through things other people don't go through.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I don't have God, even talking about answering this question now, this is why I need to have God in my life, because I know that's something constant where I can believe in. I know what's wrong, I know what's right, I know what's the right path. But we live in such a lawless society that it tells us you can do what you want as long as you can find a way to get away with it.
Yeah.
Or you can be accountable, but accountable only up to 50% because you can always rely on mental health issues or the fact that, oh, I'm just human, we're all going to make mistakes. Making mistakes is fine. Making mistakes is fine. So you don't learn from them. Or making mistakes isn't making a mistake or just on an odd day. Making a mistake is something where you know what's wrong and you're choosing it, but because you know the status of yourself in the celebrity or in the mainstream society, you can get away with it. Bro, this world, yeah, this is why I keep trying to tell people, do not try to look for celebrities, influencers to look up to in this world. It's not worth it. We're all human, man. Like, at the end of the day, these men are the same as you. They've just got the financial leverage. But that doesn't mean anything really and truly because we've always said money comes and goes, but money don't follow you to the grave. It doesn't, man. And it's sad to see. And I want to say, but we don't advocate for none of that because I have a little sister. Like, I joke with her every day. That's to a point where.
Well, all these man
talking. I look for my sister. I look for my sister because I'm like, sis, I'm a man. I know what these man. Come on, man.
It scares me, man.
I know what these man are on. And luckily, she's got it's 3 boys and 1 girl, so she's the only girl. But luckily, you know when girls go around guys, they kind of get that street smart earlier. Like, there's no twang you can tell my sister that I ain't told her she seen me do. You know what I'm saying? So luckily, I'm like, I said like, you have to let them grow, bro. You have to let her. Well, one thing the world tells you is
it's a scary world out there.
Experience is the best teacher. Experience is the best teacher. Fear is the best teacher. Because what fear tells us is because what people don't understand is there's constructive fear and there's destructive fear. There's 2 types of fear. A good fear is me saying, let me not touch this hot kettle while it's boiling because it's gonna burn me. That's a good fear, bro.
Yeah, because you're protecting yourself.
It's protecting me. I don't need to experience touching it and burning my whole hand off. There's bad fear we're talking about earlier in the episode where it's like, I don't want to start vlogging because people might think I'm moist. Who the heck cares what people think? That's not even fear, bro. If anything, that's insecurity. That's not even fear. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So, it's this constant fear we have to battle through and understand which one's good and bad. Like, but I told my sister, honestly, don't let the bad people in life stop you from being a good person and enjoying life for what it is. Because that's what I also want to say. Because there's always going to be fear everywhere, man. It's crazy still. And the last one I wanted to go into was this on a quick thing. I don't know about you, but just what's one good thing or like in the last week? What do you think God's done for you that you've been like, like that was good, like crazy? Because I feel like we don't talk about that enough sometimes, just in terms of like appreciation for life and just.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
Probably just me starting to PT. But that's crazy because it was funny because I was thinking beginning of this year, cool, I've got my grad job, whatever. I'm doing a physio and I'm reselling. I've created my website. So that's 2 things I'm doing now. I'm making money out of. Now it's like I prayed to God. I was like, I want to do something that's new in a way. And then just like that, this opportunity just arised. But I didn't see it coming at all. And it's like, boom, straight away, I'm doing that. And but I've been going from there. And it's like, to me, I had to stop. After I did the first session, I just realised, I was like, because at one point I was thinking, I'm still trying to do something new. Like, I had a plan of doing this and this, but hasn't sort of materialised yet, even though I'm still planning. This is something else that I'm still planning. But I haven't got this third thing that I want to start. Basically, third stream of income, basically, that I wanna do. Because, like, I want to, because in my head, it's just, in this life, you got to, to me, this life's about evolution, innit?
Yeah.
Learning how to progress and then, I don't know, being able to adapt, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I was still thinking that I need to, like, do something new, innit? And then, boom, as I mentioned, this PT opportunity arose, and as I was thinking, wow, this is God, that's the lane that basically I was asking for, and it's a lane that I'm like comfortable in as well, and I have a very good idea of what I'm doing. So it's like then I was thinking like, well, I just thought, and I was like, oh God, like, thank you. Like this is you. This ain't me, because I wasn't even thinking about doing this. Even though I thought about it doing that years ago, PT, and I was thinking about actually, going into it.
Materialize your plans.
Yeah, just like that. And it's like, wow, that's actually crazy. So then, as I mentioned, I just stopped and I was like, wow, God, thank you. Like, this is sick, because literally, things that times when you won't expect it, because you'll be giving up to something, thinking it's gonna happen by this date, and it may not materialize, and then boom, something just comes out the blue, and it's boom, just like that. So that's a moment I gotta be appreciative of, like just life in general, innit? Like, because I think sometimes, cool, sometimes I might just be like on go mode, innit? Yeah. And sometimes I might just stop and realize there's a lot of people struggling out here. When a crazy time, I don't think people realize that. Obviously, you have people talking about, I don't know, this shoe or this piece of clothing, or the material stuff in this world, but it's crazy times we're in. People are struggling. This country is mad. Inflation's on a new rise. There's always some new pyramid scheme that the government's brought out to take more money out of people, and it's like people are actually real life struggling out here. Real life. For someone like myself, whereby I'm able to do what I'm doing, and I'm still very much comfortable, and
still enjoy life.
Yeah, I'm still able to enjoy life. As unfortunately, that's actually being comfortable in life is a privilege. It's getting to the point whereby it's going to be a privilege.
Yeah.
And
it's not good.
I can't lie, it's terrible, but that's the world we're living in. Like, there's always like, it's sad. I just sometimes think it's not good. I feel like it's not good to think this, but sometimes it's sad when you think about the world that we're living in right now, and the direction it's going in. It's going to get worse. We're only just going to get worse. I'm someone that's pessimistic, but I think this world's only going to get worse with the way things are going, the conversations that are being had. Obviously, I know online is not real, but with the decisions that are being made, and the way that you can just see the direction that we're heading in with COVID, with lockdown, what it's done to people's lives, businesses. You can see the direction that we're going in, and to me, it's not looking good at all. For me, it's just about, obviously I don't think too deep. Sometimes I have my moments, but I don't think too deep, because it's like, it's one of them things whereby it's like, you would drown. I don't want to drown in my thoughts, because there's work to be done. There's a goal to meet. There's a life to live in it. So you can't get too deep in it. But you just got to be aware. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, just in life in general, I'm just appreciative in it, because I'm not struggling. I can never sit here and say I'm struggling. Like, man's comfortable. Man's like, able to do what I want. Like, I'm able to do most things that I want, and I'm cool with that. And I'm headed in a good good direction. I think when I was younger, I used to think about it. I used to focus more so on speed than direction. It's bare cliche. It sounds bare cliche, but that's just the reality of things, isn't it? I think that's one thing. When I look at my niece now, I feel like that's one thing I'll proper like install in her. Instill in her, because it's crazy. She's got a phone right now, When she gets to secondary school, I swear, I'm gonna tell her, listen, whatever you see from people, don't ever let anyone undermine your thing, honestly. Because secondary school, I'm telling you, I always speak about this, but you see, when I first touched year 7, it's a new world, and there's new, and obviously we're sponging it when we're that young. We hit puberty, like, so it's like you're seeing new things. Let me keep it 100. I never knew what a blowjob was until year 7. Mums, I didn't know about this stuff. I didn't know about
early, bro.
I got, bro.
I feel like year 9.
Bro, I didn't know what head. You know all these terms that we hear now that we just talk about. Yeah. Bro, I didn't know what head was. I didn't know what a blowjob was.
My guy was telling me don't lose it if you're at 13. I didn't even I don't even register feelings for girls till I was like, no, that sounds crazy. But
I'm still a virgin.
Yeah, bro. Like, mine didn't even no. My first question to a girl was in like year 10. Like,
I didn't. No. My first crush on a girl was in like year 5.
That's crazy. Mine Man, just thinking, but maybe because I came fresh from Nigeria, I didn't even know.
That's true. That's
mine was honestly my first crush I can say I had on a girl was probably like year 10, and that sounds crazy, but I remember that because I remember going home thinking, boy, this the guy I'm gonna marry. Don't even know what that was, bro.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Like, so it's like, yeah, it's just when you're in that, it's just a new world.
Yeah, not good.
When you're in your secondary school, it's a new world. So in my head, I'm thinking like, bro, I have to do, it's scary having, like, to me, like, I see her as like, she's basically like everyone's daughter. That's like, she's the first like child out of all my siblings, isn't it? So yeah. So even the way she grew up, like, it's like she's having 3 dads and 2 mums, because she's bare close to my mum. Like, even though my mum's a grandma, but them two hang out together and stuff. So it's like, she's, as you mentioned, it's community that takes to raise a child. So it's like something like that, because I'm still, you can say, sort of fresh from secondary school in a way. Like, I know what's going on.
But she's blessed, man. She has people like
yeah. Obviously, as much as she's annoying, but in my head, I'm like, I'm just gonna wait for her to get to secondary school. Then I'll be like, yo, because bro, I know how it is. Because you don't understand.
So much pressure.
Bro, you see the things that were going on in secondary school, yeah?
So much pressure.
Like, the first time I heard about a guy getting head was in year 7. And in Barking, obviously, I was in the book. Bro, it was a massive thing. And I was thinking, I remember, as I mentioned, when I first heard the term blowjob, I was thinking, what's or BJ? Because deep it, no, you don't understand.
BJ was crazy.
You don't understand. My nickname when I was younger used to be BJ. Bro, you're laughing. This is so then when now I'm hearing that BJ.
Are you calling me?
Bro, you don't. So you're laughing.
My nickname.
You're laughing. So in my head, I'm thinking, now when people were calling me BJ, like, even some of my cousins still call me BJ. I'm thinking, bro, that's wet, because you're calling me blowjob. Like, this is, you don't understand. Secondary school's a new world, and the amount of things you're exposed to is crazy.
And we're not ready for it.
So that's why when I see someone like her now, as I mentioned, who's quote unquote, she's like a daughter. It's like everyone's daughter. It's like, bro. But as you mentioned, experience is the best way of learning. But it's just a scary world we live in. So it's like, when she hits secondary school, there's certain things that I need to just let her know that, yo, when you see this, just brush it. Don't let that influence you. Obviously, it's hard because, obviously, like, for example, I've made certain mistakes whereby until like I had to make the mistake before actually learning that this is you don't want to do this because this and this and this, and to the point whereby, and I was one of them things. I want to say I was slightly savvy, whereby I was like, I actually used to, like, certain mistakes I'd make, I'd research on it, like, so I went on a tangent, but like, yeah, man, like, it's just a scary world out there, innit? So, yeah, you just be grateful for life, going back to your original question, innit? Just be grateful for life, innit?
What is mine for the week? Bro, honestly, it's been a patient last couple of weeks where finishing uni and that transition into the adult world is hard, man. Adulting ain't easy. Adulting is not free. But adulting is a necessary transition we all need to make. And what I said, God, especially in this last 2 weeks, has been teaching me is just the value in trusting Him and being at peace with Him. There's one thing you said when you were talking about yours, where you're like, don't believe in high school, what's going on social media, and not worrying at all. And just a verse came in my head where it says, do not worry about yesterday, for yesterday has this enough troubles. And what would the troubles of yesterday change about today? Look to tomorrow and look to the future. There's another verse in the Bible that says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, seek His will in all you do, and He'll show you which path to take. And there's another verse that also says, like, look ahead, reach for. I will not think about the things of the past, but they said I will look ahead and reach forward into the things that God has planned for my good and into the whole blessings of His future. So all those things taught me that as much as I'm scared of adulting, like we were talking about before, until I take those necessary steps of adulting.
Why does adulting scare you?
Why it scares me is because
I couldn't wait for adulting.
But I'm different. For the first time in my life, yeah, I mean, I have freedom, but
that's what I wanted.
You like the freedom. Mine not about the freedom. Mine is the responsibility aspect. Like,
yeah, that stuff, it instilled a bit of fear. But in my head, it was like it was one of them fears you just had to overcome. But in my head, I always felt like I was always waiting on adulthood to hit, because I was just as you mentioned, the freedom that you get with it, and then it's just because I feel like the schooling system is very much. It's very systematic, even though adulting is systematic. Don't get it twisted, because the schooling system and adult is systematic. But it's like I feel like that. I don't know. Maybe because I'm still young, innit? So and the way I think is different. But I feel like the adulting system, there's different like avenues you can go down. I feel like the schooling system back when we were in school, and even now, low key, I feel like now it's getting better. But it's like. It's GCSEs, university, graduate, and then you figure out what you can do. Now it's that we live in a world whereby there's young people that are online thinking, okay, you're in school, but they're thinking about social media or becoming personalities footballers, or there's a lot more avenues you can go down from making something out of life, making a living.
I think my one is more pressure of being the firstborn, pressure of letting my parents down. Never letting down, them being disappointed, because uni was so hard for me. Just in everything, graduating meant a lot to me, but it's like I felt like now I have to put the whole world on my shoulders and go straight into adulting, because they expect so much of me. I expect so much of myself. So there was a time this week I broke and I said to God, I don't know where to go next, because one thing we, especially Nigerians, Africans, I say need to be scared of is, and you know this more than anyone, I'm not saying that you do, but sometimes there's this pressure on us from our parents that to the point they're living vicariously through us, and they're living their dream life through us, to a point where, and my friend told me this in such wisdom, where she said, there needs to be a point where you take a stand against your parents, because they don't always know
100%. Like even, like for example, just little stuff, everyday life, or, you know, like for example, where, like, for example, my parents wanted me to become a doctor because they could see how smart I was. Like in their head, they was thinking the way everything's just easy for me in school. That they didn't see that my siblings the way they saw it in me. So that's why they tried to push me through the doctor side of things. I was like, that's not me. I don't want to do that. So even back then, I had that slight knowledge on what I want to do. As I mentioned, I always wanted to be a physio from when I was probably like 14. I was researching on what I need to do and able to get get onto a course, or like, and when I told them that, they realized how much that was me, and they realized how I was so they realized how my mindset was very much set on this is what I want to do, and they saw the way I was pursuing it, so then they had no choice. And I feel like a lot of people are scared. But it's one of the things whereby it's like you gotta put your foot down, because you're gonna be constantly trying to.
Time for no one.
Yeah, and are you gonna be constantly trying to? Okay, it's great to, like make our parents happy, but are you gonna be constantly living to
please them?
Please someone, and it's like.
And if you're trying to please someone, it's never enough.
Yeah, and like for example, little stuff like for example, I remember like. My mum had a full circle moment, It was funny because, for example, my mum was like, listen, if you want to get a job to do a physio in a hospital, as your like first job. Don't go somewhere that's local, because the hospitals around our area that are slightly out of London, they haven't got that reputation of being like a well-known, like, you know, like for example, in the healthcare world, when you got hospitals like St. Guy's and Thomas, or St. Bart's. These are like well-renowned hospitals that are known in Europe, that are known for their great healthcare. And it's like when you're doing big procedures, like St. Bartholomew's Hospital is known for its cardiology, specializes. So that's a good hospital to have that on your CV. So, you know, like for example, in the IT world is KPMG, or the banking world.
Yeah, the big four, KPMG, Deloitte.
Yeah. There's basically, that's the equivalent of that in like the medical field.
Stuff like UCH.
Yeah, exactly. So, when I was like to my mum, yeah, cool, that will come, but you gotta remember, as you mentioned about grad jobs now, getting a grad job, for example, just because I got one straight away, it's not easy. So it's like, for example, I told my mum that, listen, I got this opportunity in the private hospital that I'm working in, which is near my area, within the area. It's probably like half an hour from me, yeah. And they've got a good level of like care. Now it's like the travel, I ain't got to do that. I ain't got to flip and wake up, let's say like 5:30 in the morning.
You go do that commute, fam.
The commute, and then the commute all the way back home, and then it's like the travel money as well that I mentioned to her. So I was like to her, like, yo, I'm gonna go for this job in a private hospital, even though the money might be a slightly little bit left. Yo, if that 250 that I'm spending on travel card, this place is local, I can walk there.
Yeah.
So I'm not spending no peas. Yeah, I don't have to wake up. I can wake up an hour and a half later, and get there on time, no problem. And it's the field of physio that I want to do. So when I said that, she was like, okay, that's fine. And then now it's like, when she, okay, so she works from home, so she's a social worker, yeah. She has to drive all the way to, let's say, when she had to go into office once a day. Once a week, yeah. So her car was in the mechanic, so she had to take train. Yeah, she had to take train. When she had to take train, yeah, so it was like she came back to me. She's like, "Nah, I realize why, why not realize why you don't wanna." And then the time you have to wait for the train, your people that own the train,
stuff like sardines, fam.
Bro, the money, and do you know what she cooked? We need to speak about this.
Still our money, bro.
I keep telling you, this government, they're fraudsters. You man love getting onto.
I have to go buy oyster because this contactless thing ain't worth it.
Bro, she said they took £10 from her. Yeah. I said, now you know why I'd rather work local. I was like, listen, don't worry, I might end up getting a job in Central, but now you know why I was so happy to just quickly take the job that was locally.
Yeah.
And why I've been working locally my past 2 jobs, because, bro, one, the commute, you're having to wake up, and 2, TFL, they're robbery. It's getting to the point whereby it's like, do you know what? Yeah.
People are bumping the problems.
Bro, you're better off just getting a car. You're better off getting a car, because, like, obviously, unless you're trying to get a big boy car, but if you're spending the extra 100,
just buy it.
Because most cars are ULEZ compliant, but just get a car, as long as the car's not too taxing, obviously, because we've got people that consider petrol and all these things, but like,
insurance and that.
But it's better off because, bro, TFLs, I remember one time they took out like £27 from my account from contactless. Bro. I was thinking, I know I went from one side of London to the other, like twice, because I was like in terms of business and stuff. But I'm thinking, brother, it's mad.
Market was £6. The market was £6, bro.
This is what I'm saying. And do you know what's crazy?
One way.
Do you know what annoys me as well? It's that, cool, I don't have a car, but it's like, it's you know what burns me is Walthamstow to, let's say from Dagenham to Walthamstow, drive 15, I'll say like 20 minutes, yeah? Drive will be like 20 minutes. Trying to get there will be over an hour. That's the bit that pisses me off. That's where I'm like, and the thing is, yeah, I just in my head,
they're not that far away from each other when you're deeper as well.
Bro, it's like Dagenham's here, Walthamstow's here. All you gotta do is just straight drive.
Straight drive up north, yeah.
Straight drive. And in my head, when I look at this, I'm thinking, I swear to God, I'll just buy a car. I'll buy a car. If like I'll like obviously finance. I already know what car I want to get, but it's like in my head is like, and this is the thing. These are the things that happen in the world whereby we spoke about consumerism kills, convenience kills sometimes.
It does.
Because
it does.
Sometimes it's like in my head I'm thinking like I've mentioned, yeah, like for example, if I get a first car, most likely it'll be a smart car. Like I remember going to Mercedes in the summer, test drove it. I'm thinking, yeah, this car, I know I want this car. But my thing is like, for example, now if I get a job in central London now, am I going to be driving to work in central London, paying congestion charge every day? And the petrol's calm because it's 0.9 litres, but it's like convenience. But then now it's like I'm paying all this money.
Insurance on that will be.
No, insurance is calm on that. It's cheaper. It's cheaper than the usual. Let's say for example, if I wanted to get A class now, cool. I'll put down a couple grand deposit, but then finance from 3 bills, but then insurance now, and then petrol as well. So we don't consider these things. Obviously, convenience, you might be spending an extra, or I don't know, a couple bills, but it's like, have you got that couple bills? And it's like, how is it affecting?
And do you need to spend that couple bills?
Yeah. That's the thing. So these are I don't know. This is just how my mind kind of processes things, isn't it? And sometimes it's like, and the thing is, you mentioned about living in fear. Yeah, I think one thing that I love that I'm starting to get in life is that I understand that, or I don't know. I have the understanding that, cool, this person is doing this. I don't know about the situation that they're in, and I don't care about their situation. All I know is that in terms of my situation, I'm trying to do this and this and this. If I do this, for example, or if I take out the, I don't know, the A class that I think that I can afford to get, which I probably can, or in fact I know I can. How is it going to affect me in different aspects of life, whereby it might push me back an extra, I don't know, 3-4 years because I'm having to pay off this car debt. I'm not against taking out car finances, but that's just how I approach the situation. Obviously, money comes and goes, but at the same time, we need to be smarter. Because as I mentioned, the direction that the world's going in, bro. As I said, being comfortable is gonna end up being a privilege in life. It's gonna get people already struggling and living paycheck to paycheck. I can't. I'm of the mindset that I can't be of that.
Yeah, no,
I can't be of that.
In my daughter, so I just want to say, and I want to put people out there, guys. If you don't know where you're going, just trust in God, man. Literally, just and like Ben said, take the time to realize
the situation that you're in.
You're in a good situation, and just honestly, run your own race.
Please, man.
Run your own race, because one thing about God's favor is, and I've said this here many times, you'll see someone ahead of you. You see that they're 5 years ahead of you. You could just take 6 months of just straight consistency. You could be 10 years ahead.
Straight jugging.
So, bro, in this life we're gonna make it, man. But yeah, Cage Bird's playlist. I haven't been listening to music as much. I've been on the music first.
I've been listening to the same 10, 11 tunes every day, man.
Just been listening to Christian bops.
Oh yeah, I got a tune for rap. Cage Bird's rap. Let me add. Let me add Back to Back by not the Drake version. Back to Back, Rimsey, K-Trap and LB. I've been listening to that tune still. And then for the Cage Birds Feels, I'm gonna add what song. There's a song I've been listening to. I haven't really been listening to R&B, you know, all that feels music. Hold on, let me go back to my R&B playlist, Flower Boy playlist. Oh no, I'm gonna add Nav Call Me. That's I love that tune.
Fair enough. I'm gonna add. I'm not listening to music at all. I need to still listen to the Travis tape.
I haven't really listened to it fully.
Even the last tape I wasn't taken in, but 50-50 on that. Okay, let's say the rap. Ooh, let me see it. For rap, we can put in. Well, I'm not listening to nothing. Wait, let me do R&B first. Brent Fire's Clouded. Have we put it in?
Oh, I think I've added that one already.
Added that.
Yeah, that's my tune. But I play that tune, bro. Ever since I discovered that tune, bro, I've been playing. I'm sure. Yeah, I've added it already. Yeah, that's definitely in there.
Okay, put Ooh. Brent Fire's Rolling Stone.
Big tune.
That's not in, is it?
No, it's not. No. Cool. And then for the rap?
For the rap, it's going to have to be a young... Let me just press shuffle, see what comes up. Well, I have not Meek Flow, D major. Meek Flow.
Meek Flow, D major, yeah?
Yeah. D major. Have you seen it?
No. Meek Flow?
Yeah, like MEEK Flow. D space major. That's my thing. We're bumping that.
Oh. But yeah, that's episode 38.
So 38.
Slightly serious. We need to make the episode more lighthearted.
Yeah, this was a serious one, but I feel
serious, but it was needed though.
Yeah.
Because I was feeling
this one still. We didn't even do an intro, that's how serious it was.
Yeah. What did we we spoke about like just actually no, it's very just informative and kind of like just dissecting stuff, innit?
It's crazy.
Shout out Stormzy, man. What a guy, man.
Yo.
What?
And don't be like Liverpool bidding for players that don't watch.
No, is Caicedo going to Liverpool?
Make sure you're wanted. Apparently Liverpool are pulling out and they're getting Lavia as well.
I saw Here We Go 110 M's.
Liverpool, Fabricio said Chelsea in contact with Brighton to discuss new bid for Caicedo and Liverpool.
Listen, I've already said that. Listen, people need to stop just screaming out these figures. And people might say, I'm only saying this because of Declan Rice. Nah, I'm saying this because football's a business. When the players on a 5-8, look at Lucas Paqueta. Man City bidded 80 million and got rejected. You got to realise that it's a business. None of these players, Declan Rice ain't worth 100 mil, but the business side, he's worth 100 mil to West Ham, so they want 100 mil. For example, look at this. Trainers, yeah? I'll look at a shoe, yeah? Like an off-white Jordan 1, yeah? I'll tell my mum, this shoe's worth 2.5k with 4 bands, 4k, yeah? To my mum, she's looking at me like, this shoe ain't worth 4k.
None of that.
Yeah, exactly. But it's the business. It's the fact that it's made by Virgil, who's unfortunately passed away, rest in peace. It was the first of his Nike Off-White collab. Same way Declan Rice is West Ham captain, from the academy, born and bred. He's on this contract, earning this much. The business side of things is the reason why he's worth that much. But yeah, that's just my thing. That's my take on it. That's why I don't really look into the big numbers and stuff. Man United spent 70 M's on a guy that's scored how many goals in the league that he was in previously. Do you get what I'm saying? Arsenal demanding 15 M's for Balogun, who was basically joint top scorer in League One. Rightly so, but now that they've seen that, they're thinking Balogun can be sold for this much. People might think Balogun's not worth 50 M's, but based on the market and what players are going through and what he's done, he's going to be... They want that. It's business at the end of the day. Football's a business, as you mentioned. So, but yeah,
guys, it's good to see you. We're gonna do some more live content. Social media, you're gonna see it. You're gonna see our faces a lot more on the pages as well, outside of the podcast. So it'll be good.
Is it?
Yeah, man. Social media manager. We'll see. We cooking up some stuff. We cooking up some stuff. So yeah, man. Episode 38. We out.